What if you could take your drone and turn it into a money-making machine? Today, I'm going to show you step by step and give you a whole bunch of great ideas on how to take your drone and turn it into money. Now, I know you've heard before, you could do like a stock imagery and try and sell them and see if somebody wants to buy them and make money with them. That's not what we're talking about today. I've got some high money-making opportunities. A matter of fact, I'm going to give you the 20 highest paying drone side hustles that there are. So stick through to the end because there's some surprising ones coming up. Things that you probably never thought about and things that I know you can do with your drone. Go ahead and comment down below what you think would be a great side hustle for you to do with your drone and how much money you would like to make using your drone. Drones are booming in multiple industries. Yes, real estate, because, well, let's face it, drones can get some great shots of real estate and of developments, so that's an obvious one. Inspections is another huge one, and no, not just home inspections or roof inspections. There are so many things that need to be inspected, and we're going to talk about those. Also, drones are booming for events. Think, even weddings now use drones. Fireworks shows use drones. So many different things you can do with a drone. So there's so many opportunities out there. Having a drone side hustle can not only build you tons of extra side hustle cash, it can actually help you transform your life into your dream life, doing something you love, making money you never knew was possible. The first step is, if you're using a drone that's over 249 grams, you will need a license to fly the drone. And what this consists of is paying a small fee to the FAA and taking a written test. And you can do this online. Once you pass the test, you are now a certified drone pilot to fly your drone. So you'll want to do that first, get your drone license. It's really easy to do, and you can do so on the FAA website. Next, you'll want to consider insurance, because flying a drone, well, you could bounce into some things or crash it in a place where, well, maybe you hit like a car, and you want to be insured for that. Drone insurance is very cheap. You can call an independent insurance agent and they can help you get started getting your drone insurance for your side hustle. Next is going to be to pick your niche. And this is really unique because you don't have to really pick one, but I would focus on one and focus on getting your customers in that niche first, and you can pick up some other gigs along the way in other niches. Let's talk about what the 20 most profitable. We'll talk about what those niches are in just a minute. Let me walk through a couple more steps for you to take to develop your drone side hustle. Clearly, one of the first things you're going to need after you get your drone license and pick your niche is a drone that will fit that niche. So some drones are smaller, some are bigger. Some have infrared cameras, some have night vision cameras, some have daytime cameras. There's even some coming out now with 360-degree cameras. All of this will matter depending on what kind of photography, what kind of images you're trying to capture with your drone. I also encourage you to get some extra batteries for the drone so that you can fly longer flights. You can fly it, swap out a battery, and continue flying without having the downtime of waiting for your batteries to charge. You may also want a couple SSD cards so that you can swap out SSD cards and not run out of memory space for all the images that you are capturing. Next, you're going to want to set your rates. Flying a drone takes time. You'll need some basic insurance, and, well, you've got the cost of the drone. So you'll need to figure this in. How much do you want to make and how much will the market bear are two important questions. For real estate type photography or drone footage, you usually charge about $150 to $200 an hour. To do inspections, again, you'll charge anywhere between $100 and $200 per hour, depending on the type of inspections. And if you're doing weddings or event type drone footage, you can easily charge from $500 to $2,000. And sometimes the prices can even go higher depending on how much time and how much footage is included in that. Maybe you bring a helper and fly a second drone, you're getting more shots. But the cost for event photography can be quite staggeringly high, but it usually has a longer time commitment than some of the other drone options. Landing clients can actually be quite easy, and we'll talk about that as I go through the list of different side hustles that I thought of that you could do with your drone. And just because I have a list of over 20 doesn't mean that's all there is. There's so much more than just those 20. Now, one of the things that you may want to do to ensure that you get good repeat customers and good referrals is when you do a gig or a side hustle job, you want to get the footage and information to your customer fairly quickly. People love a quick turnaround time. Of course, you're going to want to make sure you do it excellently, but also speed. Money loves speed. So if you can get that footage turned around quickly and get it to your customer, they're going to be thrilled. Sometimes your customer may have specific requests on things that they're looking for, so make sure that you get those special requests and then even highlight that when you deliver the footage and say, hey, I made sure to get these things. They are on clip number this, this, and this. A little tiny bit of communication goes a long way. Also, what I would do to ensure happy customers is before any event or gig or side hustle that you do with your drone, communicate ahead of time, confirm, we have an appointment for this time and this is what we are going to do. During the event or the time when you're capturing that footage, make sure you communicate again. Hey, I'm here, I'm working on it. I got your list of needed shots. And then afterwards, again, communicate. Hey, I got all the footage that you requested. I will get it to you within 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever your turnaround time is, so they know what to expect. And then you actually submit all the footage to them. Make sure it's easy for them to get that footage. Whether you have it in like a Google Drive, a Dropbox, or whatever, make sure it's really easy for them to get their footage. And like I said, include a note that says the specific shots you were requesting are here, here, and here. That way they don't have to go digging through everything. They know right away that you captured what they were looking for. Also, you can follow that up with a, hey, thank you. It was great working with you. I'm happy to work with you again. Anytime you have a need, just let me know. And I would love to be your point person to grab that footage that you need. All right, now let's get into the 20 drone side hustle gigs that I came up with, and I'd love to hear what you come up with as well. So drop in the comments side hustles that you can do with your drone that you thought of. Okay, the first and most obvious one that you already know about is real estate drone footage. You fly over a piece of real estate, get nice pretty shots of a house or an estate, which creates really great listing footage so that potential buyers want to buy that. Real estate agents will gladly pay you for this footage. The way you find real estate agents is, well, you can call them and say, hey, I have a drone, I would love to provide you footage. You can also go to networking events. There's always a real estate agent at every networking event. So you could go to a couple of those, meet a couple of real estate agents and let them know what you do. One of the best ways to use a networking event is not to just pitch it right there on the spot, but meet the real estate agent and ask if you could take them out for a cup of coffee. When you have that cup of coffee appointment, then is a great time to let them know what you do and how you can help them capture great footage. Now, one of the beauties about flying a drone for real estate is not only can you capture great outdoor scenery, a great look of the property, when you get really good at it, you can actually fly it through the inside of the building or the structure that you're promoting for that real estate agent, and that creates a great visual of the property, and that will really set you apart. The second drone side hustle that I got is construction updates. So construction companies have big projects going on, and they need updates on a regular basis, and they need an update that they can't see from a normal perspective. A drone flying over a big construction project can give them a good aerial view of what's happening, better than an airplane or helicopter because you can get closer to it and you can be more nimble moving around the project, showing the construction company what's happening with their project. Now, this can be broken out into multiple categories. So you've got construction of corporate buildings. That's a huge project. Construction of roadways, construction of bridges, construction of really anything you can think of that needs to be built by some kind of construction company. Drone footage is extremely helpful to them to see the progress of their project. The way you find these is, well, one of the ways is with LinkedIn. You can contact people who list themselves as construction project managers and let them know what you do and see if there's any way you can help them with their projects and capturing the footage that they're looking for. Side hustle number 3 that you can do with your drone is crop and agricultural monitoring. So farmers have giant fields and they can't get a great view of their fields and they need to see where their crops are yielding well and where they're not yielding well. Yeah, they can walk out into the middle of their field, but that doesn't give them a great view of the field. So they hire people like you with a drone to come in and fly around their fields, capturing great footage so that they can see where crops may be failing before it's a problem, and then they can apply the proper fertilizers or water or whatever they need to do to make sure that they don't lose their crop. This is an extremely valuable service to anyone in agriculture. Also, this works with cattle ranchers. Their cattle are spread out over hundreds of acres. You can fly a drone around and make sure that you can see their cattle. So if they're missing cattle, you can help them locate where they're hiding out. This is another valuable resource that you can do. Drone side hustle number 4 is roof inspections. Roofs on houses, you think you can see them from the ground or use a ladder and get up on them, but you actually don't get the same view as if you flew over them with a drone and could hover over specific points, back up, get a wider view, get in closer. There's lots that you can do with that. Also, corporate buildings and big buildings, it's harder to get on the roof and get that view. A roofing company needs that view so they can better estimate what needs to be done, and insurance companies want the footage before they'll pay out to have a roof done. So this is another valuable resource that you can provide, of providing footage of roofs and what's happening with a roof. And an insurance company decides whether or not they're going to pay out, and a roofing company will know better how to bid the project and get a good idea of what they need to do. Drone side hustle number 5 is wedding and event photography. You can fly around outdoor events real easy. You can follow the limo as the couple drives away. You can get so many creative shots with a drone that's just not possible with a standard photographer. So this is a huge paying gig because you can capture so much. And some indoor venues you can fly in, some you can't. So you'd have to check when you get your FAA license to fly the drone. You'll probably learn what that is. But especially for an outdoor event, you can capture so much beautiful footage of the ceremony, of the reception, of everything going on, which will create lasting memories for the people that are throwing the event, whether it's the bride and groom or a corporate event or any kind of outdoor event. There are so many types of outdoor events that happen that could use drone photography. Actually, later this week, I'm going to an event that involves sporting clays, which is shooting sporting clays. It's a fun sport, and having drones capture that event on behalf of the person throwing this event would be fantastic footage for them to have. Side hustle number 5 is solar panel inspection. There are farms and farms and farms of solar panels that need to be inspected, and one of the most efficient ways to do this is to fly over them with a drone and get up close shots of anything that may be a potential issue or something that a customer needs to see. With a ladder, they can't just get on top of the solar panels, so they need a way that they can get a better view and a better 360-degree angle around all the solar panels. There's also solar panels on roofs of buildings that need to be inspected, so you with your drone can provide this service. Side hustle number 7, I'm holding the camera, so I can't even hold up 7 fingers right now or I'll drop the camera. But side hustle number 7 that you can do with your drone is land surveying and mapping. So land surveyors sometimes need aerial footage of the land that they are surveying. One, it helps them find where they are on the property, even though they're surveying it. And 2, it provides an aerial overview of the survey once it's done so that everybody involved can have a much better visual image of what that property or area looks like that is being surveyed. Also, I know a land surveyor who does, he specializes in floodplain surveying, and this will help show where the floodplain is and how the land contours to show how water may move throughout the property and may or may not cause flood damage. So this is a valuable resource. The way you get into this one is contact land surveyors, let them know what you do, and ask how you can help them survey their land with your drone. Drone side hustle number 8 is an obvious one. This is stock photography. Now this is great because you can do any one of the side hustles with your drone, and then when you're not busy with a client or a customer of yours, you can go out and just take footage of just about anything. It doesn't matter what it is. You can get footage of it anywhere you want, anything you want. It doesn't need to be landscape. It can be cities, it can be buildings, it can be solar panels, it can be anything that you can see with your drone, you can get footage of, and you can upload that to a stock photography type website where people will then buy your footage. So this is great because it's recurring revenue. All you have to do is capture the footage, put it up on the site, and then people will buy it. Even while you're sleeping, people will buy that footage. So this is a great way to create some recurring revenue and fill in the downtime that you might possibly have. Drone side hustle number 9 is tourism and travel drone photography. So tourism boards for cities love drone photography to show off their city and convince people to come there. And anyone who's in the tour type industry would also love to have drone photography showing tour groups and how tours can move and the different things that you can see on a tour. Drone side hustle number 10 is car dealer drone photography. Car dealers love showing off their cars, and if you can fly around a car lot and fly around a specific car, this creates perfect footage for them to show off a car on their website so that people want to buy it. You can also follow a car around as they drive it and show how cool their car is that they have. And really, any local business can use drone photography for their business. Even the local pizza shop can do it as you follow the pizza man delivering the fresh, hot pizza to a happy customer. There's just so much you can do with a drone to help a local business promote themselves better. Drone side hustle number 11 is wildlife management. So you can help wildlife management track and monitor where the wildlife are and how they're moving and what's going on. Drone side hustle number 12 is search and rescue. Well, people get lost or things happen, and this will give a good view to the search and rescue teams on where things are. You can fly around any kind of wreckage. You can fly over a lake where there might be something floating. You can fly anywhere and help the search and rescue team know exactly where to go. You get into that by contacting your local search and rescue teams and letting them know you have a drone and you're here to help. Drone side hustle number 13 is hunting and fishing scouting. So people pay big money to go hunting and fishing, and with a drone, you can get an aerial view of where different species are, whether they're on land or in the water. You can see it. You can help them monitor what's the migration patterns, where they're hanging out. Now, it will be on the hunter to know what the rules are, because some places you can't fly a drone 24 hours before you go hunting. They consider it cheating. Other places you can fly a drone same day. So it's on them to know that, but you may want to know those rules as well. But if a hunter knows about where their deer are going to be for deer season, they have a better chance of getting a deer thanks to your drone photography. Drone side hustle number 14 is event security. Well, there's lots of things going on around events, and it's hard to get an eye on everything, especially when you're just another person in the crowd on the ground being a security person. But with an eye in the sky, cameras on buildings can't get the same view. A drone can fly around, monitor things differently, and can focus in on more points of concern than a standard camera can or a person on the ground. And this eye in the sky, your drone, can also direct security personnel where to go if they're needed in a specific area. Drone side hustle number 15 is golf course everything. So golf courses want great footage of their golf courses to help promote their footage, but they also have events at the golf course. They also have events at the golf course where they would love drone photography of the events so that they can provide that footage for their members. They can use it for promotion. There's so much you can do on a golf course with a drone that you can't get that kind of imagery and that kind of promotion from anything else. Drone side hustle number 16 goes back to small businesses. Like I said, all small businesses can use drone footage, and you just have to be a little bit creative in how you do it. Like I said, you could follow the pizza man. You can fly around a bank, and you can follow the armored car around. Be careful with that. That might get you in trouble. So make sure you're allowed to do that first. But you can show the armored car pulling up to the bank. You can show the happy customer coming into the bank. And you can show so many different things about any kind of business with a drone. Drone side hustle number 17 is roof and gutter inspection. So anyone cleaning gutters or wanting to inspect whether or not gutters are being held onto a building properly will use you flying a drone to see how dirty the gutters are without having to get up on a ladder every couple of feet to check, to figure it out, so that they can provide accurate quotes to customers on what needs to be repaired, what needs to be replaced, and how much cleaning is involved. Drone side hustle number 18 is insurance claims footage. So anytime an insurance company is going to pay out, they're going to want footage of an area. Maybe it's an area where a major storm has come through and they want footage of the entire storm damaged area. Maybe it's a single property that they're looking at. Maybe it's a crime scene type area and they want footage of that scene and what happened there. Drone side hustle number 19 is a little bit slower to make money from, but it's creating footage for YouTube. People love watching this footage. They will subscribe to your YouTube channel and you can get sponsorship deals, affiliate deals, and you can get paid from YouTube for providing this kind of footage on YouTube. Drone side hustle number 20 is probably something unique that you never thought of. It is water tower inspections. So you can climb a water tower, but when you climb it, you're right there up against it and you can't see it very clearly. But with a drone, you can get all the way around it, show the top of it, show the sides of it, and help local municipalities and water commissions know the conditions of their water towers. Now, I've got some bonuses coming that kind of follow a little bit along these lines. Cell phone towers also need to be inspected on a regular basis in the same manner. And again, climbing a cell phone tower doesn't give you the same vantage point. Flying a drone around a cell phone tower gives you a much better vantage point to inspect that cell phone tower and provide the footage that somebody needs to make sure their cell phone tower is in compliance. Also, wind turbines have to be inspected, and wind turbines are gigantic, and there is no good way to get a good view of a wind turbine except with a drone. Power lines, another one. Large power lines need to be inspected. There's no good way to get up to those power lines and check them, check the splices, check the connections, check to make sure everything is good. You can use your drone to inspect power lines. There's just so many options with a drone. Many buildings, maybe you didn't know this, but the front of the building or the outside of the building that you see is actually what is called a facade. It's really just prettiness bolted onto the building. And because of that, sometimes facades fall off or break. Well, building inspections is huge. You can fly a drone up along a building and look for any cracks or any problems, or if a facade does fall, you can take your drone up and check the rest of the structure so that they can rebuild the facade and make sure it is safe and sound moving forward. Really, the possibilities are endless. All you need is a drone, your FAA license, and get up and get going. You can contact a few people and have your drone side hustle up and running in no time, generating incredible cash. Let me know what you think of all these side hustle ideas and which one you're going to try with your drone. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.